Welcome to episode 18 of our Road to 1500. We are currently sitting at 1238 after a little win streak that we have put together. We are actually at the point where if we get a win today, then we will be at a new peak. So no pressure, but it'd be great to continue the win streak. It would be great to get a new peak. So we're going to play a game of 1510. Let's see who we're going to play. We're actually playing with the black pieces. We are playing a 1235 from Poland, Timon 20x. And our opponent plays the Queen's Pawn. So in this situation, we're actually going to play the knight to f6. We are trying out the King's Indian. This is something that we've started to do when our opponent plays anything other than the King's Pawn, where we typically play the Caro-Kann as black. So I'm actually going to castle now. And they are fianchettoing their bishop. Now we're just getting to grips with this. So we have the basics. I think it's actually a pretty complex. There's a lot of theory with the King's Indian, but we know some of the basics of the plan. I'm going to move this pawn out because we want to try to get this bishop out. And we're probably going to bring this knight to here. The knight can come to here, but I think you have a bit of an easier time. Let's bring this bishop out to start with. We can always trade it off. Our positions look almost mirrored, which is kind of interesting. But I think now, can we do the push already? So push, take, 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 push, take, take, take. Don't think it works yet, does it? Let's bring this knight in here. I would typically do some of the sort of concepts of the French defense if our opponent plays the Queen's Pawn opening. I think we can now do this. So push, take, take, take. Hang on. Push, take, 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 take. Let's try it. Our opponent seems to be lining up something down here, but we've kind of beat them to the punch, I think. They're playing very quickly. This knight is defended quite a few times. If they threaten our bishop, we can just take. If they bring this here, I can take. They could bring their queen in. Maybe they were lining that up for that. That's a little bit of a concern. I could push here. Take. That doesn't really work, does it? Take, take. Our opponent's actually having a bit of a think now. But I think this is, yeah, they're actually already going for that. But we can just wait and keep the tension. Because if they take, we just bring the king up. We can take here, or we could just push. We could take, and then they take, and then we push. And if they take, we take. That doesn't work. We can take, and then they come in here, and then we take here. Let's take towards the center. Actually, this, okay. I'm going to try to get this knight out of here. So let's kick this knight because it's defending this pawn. Okay, they've hopped it back. I think in the King's Indian, we want to move this knight away from this square, push this pawn, and get the queen and the rook on this file up here. So if we move this here and then they jump this out, we can just defend it. Where will they bring it? They could bring it here. Let's try it. They could jump this knight out somewhere now, in which case it's undefended, but we can defend it with this pawn push here. Got to be careful. This bishop has an attack all the way to that pawn, so we need to be wary of that. Got to be wary of our opponent's attacks. Got to be wary of leaving anything hanging. Got to be wary of the queen on this file here. Okay, so they've done that. I think let's defend that knight. That was our plan. Now we are open to check, but okay. Take, take. I have to be wary of that. We can take, take, take. We could move the king down. We could take, 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 take. Jump this in here. They'll probably move back. This bishop's very strong here. Take, take. This pawn is isolated. You can defend it though. Let's do this. Okay, now this bishop's opened up. Let's defend this pawn. We've got check at any point. Got to be wary of that. We'll just bring the king down. We don't have a dark squared bishop, so we can bring the queen up here. I actually forget in the King's Indian whether you're supposed to have the queen on top of the rook or not. We can hop the knight in here. Let's just try to calculate, take our time. Our opponent seems to be playing reasonably well. I mean, is it too slow a move to just get our king out of the way? We can bring our pawn here. We can bring our king down here. Okay, so if they push this another one and then I go up, they can take. Just do, it's a slow move, but it closes off this pawn chain. Our king is a lot more vulnerable than their king, so I'm not massively happy with that, but we'll have to see. I've tried to play what I understand is part of the King's Indian plan to push this pawn. So they're bringing this over here so they can make this push. I'm actually going to bring this knight here. They could pin me, but it is protected. I think I'm going to have to step my king out of the way. I maybe should have done that first. Could actually bring my queen up here first. Just step my king out of the way. I don't want that pin. So this square is interesting, but it's protected by the bishop and the knight. I would happily trade the bishop for the knight if I could, but I can't at the moment. It's very strong, but if they move the knight, what ideas, what can we do? Okay. Yeah, our king's very vulnerable here. We're going to have to protect. Starting to wonder whether I should have opened up my king now. We're going to have to be super careful with our defense now. What can we do with this bishop? This bishop's proving to be a pain. Their white bishop. Okay, now they're rerouting the knight, which seems like a sensible move. I'm going to come up here because it gives me my king another square, because I do not like this queen and bishop having these attacks on my king. We can check the analysis on this. Pushing the pawn here may have actually been a mistake in this situation because we've opened ourselves up. We can bring the bishop in here. Kind of interesting. Potentially, will it get trapped? Time has evened up. Kind of tempting to get that bishop in there because we don't want to get our bishop trapped. Maybe I should have just pushed this pawn one. Maybe that would have been better. Their queen is more active than ours, but I'm tempted to try to get this king off of here. I do know that pushing the pawns on this on the king side here in the King's Indian is an idea. All right, they've brought it back. They've obviously had to think about what I think I might advance the knight again. If they come in for another check, I now have a different square to go to. So that's panned out slightly differently to before. We can trade off the bishop. I actually like that because if I bring the bishop in here, they have to take. I take with the... we could be getting trapped here. If they push here, so I think I need to push here. They take, and the king's more vulnerable, and then I can come in. Let's push the pawn. We can give up a pawn in order to give ourselves an escape, and it opens up the king. So we're threatening to take here, and we can give a check if they don't do anything. So I don't mind this. Okay, now we can do this. So check. Didn't think too much on that, but my My idea here is I'm going to trade off this bishop, which is just too strong. King has to back away. Check. We're now threatening this rook. Queen trade. Let's offer a queen trade. That's not as good as I thought because this rook protects this pawn. They might not go for it. Yeah, I'd forgotten that this rook is protecting this, the second rank. I think we probably need to improve these rooks. Is he going to try and... Difficult for him to come in there, to be honest. Push, push. Protect the knight. We're looking to push here and then we can take and try to maybe double up our rooks or try and get a triple up. That could be a good plan. Our knight is undefended, but it can come here or here. To be honest, if we could get the queen here, that would be checkmate. So queen here, queen up to here, they would probably have to take. Okay, they're threatening to bring the knight in here, and then they can attack this pawn. Push, take, take. If he hops in here, I can actually bring the knight back here to protect. So push, take, take, hop here. Which one do we do first? Move this back to start, because it defends this and opens this weakness up. We might do that. We might push down there. It weakens up the king. Maybe I should have brought one of these rooks onto this file. Timon 20x, Poland. This is getting quite interesting, this game now. Don't want to blunder. We want to just keep... Okay, he's rerouted. Right, it's going to come in. Right, I'm going to push. Let's try and open up the center. Try and double up our rooks. That's protected, and then we can bring this over. So I'm not sure what this knight's doing here because it can't come there and it can't come there. If this comes here, I can come here. We're doing a little bit better than our opponent on time. We've almost got 6 minutes. They're coming down to 3 minutes. So maybe time will become a factor on this. So we just try to use our time wisely. We have an opportunity here to go above 2040, which is our previous peak. I thought they might do that, but I'm just going to double up. Take, 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 take. We're just going to go for this and open up the position. Now they'll take that. Okay, so if we come here, we are threatening that, but we're threatening that, but that's blocking it. So we're able to bring that in, come in, and then come in, check. What about coming in? If we come in here, they might bring, oh, they could bring the queen back. Let's threaten it. It's pinned, the knight is pinned. They can't give a check because we just take them. We're threatening that. They've stepped the... I think we can do this now. Okay, hang on. So take, 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 push. Hang on. Take, 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 push. Got a bit of an issue there. Okay, let's do it. We could take that knight. Don't want to get my knight stuck in there. Let's bring this knight out. We need to get our king more active. King can't come to these squares. Knight is quite restricted. We have a push. We've got to be careful about overextending the pawns here. Push and push. We're in an end game here now, guys. They've got a 4-on-3. Our king's over this side. I don't think we want to push it much further without supporting it first. Push. Let's support. Push. Push. Take. Push. 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 Take. Push. Down. Challenge. take. Got to get our king over here. Got to bring the king over. Okay, so here, take, here, take. I think this is good. Just come back here, threatening this, threatening check, and then bring the king. He's got more pawns on this side. I think we're going to lose a pawn now. Let's bring the king. Yeah, this is going to be tough to hold on to this pawn because he's just going to attack my knight. Just comes here. I can always bring the knight in there to keep it protected and then try to bring the king. Endgames, they're tough, right? It's very easy to just make one little mistake. Yeah, push, take, push, take. Dang. Let's just come here. You can take the pawn. I think we can potentially come back here and check, and he can move there then. Let's just bring the king. Opponent's +1 now. Just throw in a check. Protect. That way they can't take that. Just try to. We don't have long. I think we just have to do that. Check. We can pick this up now. We need to use our king to defend these pawns, but it gives us a... Right. We can come back in here, and then we've got a pass pawn. Okay. All right, so what can we do? We've got 15 seconds. If we come here, okay, we have to move. They're going to take this pawn. So we need to... Oh, just ran out of time. Oh, just ran out of time at the end. Oh, so we lost. That was a close game. It was a well-fought game by my opponent, and our winning streak, couldn't last forever. Actually pretty low. I'm just going to go into the analysis screen, but our accuracies were fairly low on that. It was quite an up and down game. We did have quite an advantage. So not the perfect game by any means. It was a hard fought game. Let's have a look at the review. Let's have a look at the key moves. This is all book. So taking here was a mistake. We should have taken the knight. Let's have a look. Oh, it's not working. Never mind. That's great. Okay, so this was an inaccuracy opening up the king like this, as we expected. Taking was a miss. Best. What could we have done? That was a miss. So our best move was just to bring the queen up here. That was an inaccuracy as well. G5. Pushing the pawns was best. That was an inaccuracy. Stepping back was a mistake. I thought about actually this. We're actually bringing the queen in. Check. Knight back. That was good. That was a mistake. That's great. Great. So pushing the pawns, this was good. Best. That was an inaccuracy. We should have brought our queen over. The follow-ups aren't working here. That's not working. So best, mistake. We should have gone there to punish it. Yeah, so actually we were doing... Just go into the game review here. Yeah, we would have been threatening to reveal a check on the king. That would have been good. We did see that concept later. because that evened the game up. So there's a lot of swings in this game. Yeah, we already had this protected, so we could have just taken, then they take, we take, they take. That was a great move. We're almost +3 now. That was a mistake. We played the great move. That was an inaccuracy. Oh, I don't believe it. We had a win here, guys. All we needed to do was play check, and the king would have to step away from the queen. And then we could have picked up the queen if we just looked for that tactic. We didn't spot that tactic, and we could have won the game. That would have been beautiful. And then they would have been in so much trouble. We missed it. And actually, we should have gone for it. I was worried about getting trapped, but that was the best move to come here. We had a win. We missed that tactic. It was a mate in 7. All we needed to do was check the king, and we would have won the game. These things happen. And the game's even. Best. That was a mistake. We should have gone for this. Yeah, by not pushing that. Yeah, and the game was even. This is where it was up and down. That's a great move. That was a mistake. That was a blunder doing that. All we needed to do was come over here. So then they take here, but we come in here and we attack both these pieces, and this pawn's so close to promotion. And we should have just focused our attentions there. So we have multiple chances to win this game. So it's a lesson to look out for the tactics and to put some practice in on our end games. So this is why the accuracy was low, because there was quite a few mistakes, but I had plenty of opportunities to turn this into a win. But we did that. That was a blunder. Bringing the king up was an inaccuracy. That was best. Bringing that over. Yeah, I mean, things are fairly even still here. That was a mistake. Should have just brought the king down. And then we ran out of time. Oh well. We learn from this. We can take the time, and we'll bounce back another win, I'm sure, very soon. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video, hopefully for a win. All right, cheers. Bye.